Hey friends, let's make a little shelf sitter hanger today. I first added the chocolate souffle on this board, got it dry, and now we're going to add just some Elmer's glue and crackle it. So I kind of do my strokes random. They don't have to all be one way. You can paint the whole board with your glue, or you can just use different spots and go either direction you want to. Totally up to how you like it. You can use a crackle medium if you like, but the less expensive way would be just to use some kind of glue. So as long as it's school glue, you do want to use the school glue, the washable school glue. So I'm just going to get all of that glue on there. Got that done. Let's give it just a little quick dry. I just like mine to be a little bit tacky. I don't completely dry it. And then I'm going to add my paint on top, and I am using the glazed donut on top of it. That's going to kind of match the other side so that this can be a reversible project. Got that finished. Try not to touch back up, just leave it just like it is because you can pull the paint back off. Now we're going to give that a quick dry. And now you can see your crackle. We're going to put that out of our way. Now we're going to work on our heart. We are using the color Cream Puff on our heart. I went ahead and painted that, let it dry. And now we're going to take a piece of cardboard that I did pull the top off and make it variegated. You can use either side that you would like. We're going to glue that on, use a little bit of the Tite Bond, a little bit of hot glue to get that on there and press it on. Don't need a ton of hot glue. Kind of put it where you do not have your other glue so that it doesn't mix, because sometimes it will not adhere to what you need it to if the glues are on top of one another. So make sure you allow for each one. And place that right there in the middle. You could add any kind of color paint you want to. I am using a wipe and a little bit more of the glazed donut on there just to make it kind of blend with what we have. You don't have to do this step. I just thought it made it look a little bit better. Now I'm taking a palette knife and I'm putting some paint around the edge. You know, you just want to do your edges with heavier paint. And then you're going to see that I'm going to take the side of it and kind of scrape it off around our surface to make it look like a chippy look. So you see how I'm scraping that surface? That's going to make it look more like a chippy project. So this would go with any of your country, your farmhouse, that kind of more of a shabby look. And you can get these palette tools at Paint Pixie. They're on sale right now. I will put my link in the video. Items that aren't on sale, that you can get a 15% discount. That's looking good. I'm liking the way that looks. Let's go ahead and give it a dry. Make sure it's good and dry before we add our other items. And now I've got some little roses. These were made with the Form Flex compound. That's what I used on these. I love that product. It is bendable even after you paint it. After it's dry, it's still bendable. Now I'm going to just take a brush and I'm going to add a little bit of that glazed donut to these. Get those all 3 painted up. You won't need a ton of paint on these. Okay, we'll get these dried up. And now we're ready to place our lace and those 3 little hearts on our other hearts. So I'm just going to use a little bit of my tacky glue on this material. Tacky glue or the 3-in-1 or your fabric glue are all great for that. It kind of sticks to your fingers. You have to just keep moving it. And then I will add just a little bit of hot glue to the edge of it because it does keep wanting to move on me. That is just a piece of lace that I found. It's actually a ribbon that I found at the dollar store one day and have not seen it since. I'm hoping they get some more in because it was a really good deal. 3 yards. Now I'm going to add this jewel. This is just a button that I found, and I'm going to use it. I'm just going to glue that, put it in the middle. And now I'm going to glue the little flowers. And if they don't seem like they'll stick with glue, with just the tight bond, you can add just a drop of hot glue. But you don't want to put complete hot glue when you're using molds because they can pop back off of your project. Okay, we got those on. Add a little bit more glue to that one. Didn't have quite enough. Oh. Sometimes they move on you. Now I'm going to take a little bit of my Prosecco metallic paint and I'm just going to put a little bit on these roses just to give them a little bit of a shimmer. A little bit of a shimmer there. And then I decided I will put a little bit more on our heart. So I did go back after I glued this and put a little bit more of that. So let's get this glued on, and I'm going to use, again, some of my Tight Bond and just a little bit of hot glue. Now, I'm sorry this got off of the camera a little bit. I had to fix this video, so it did get off camera a little bit, but you all know how to glue that. And I'm just putting it in the middle of my board. Press that down where it'll stick. And now you'll see that I'm putting a little bit more of that Prosecco, and I'm going to go around the heart a little bit with it and around my board. There we go. How do you like it? Let's dry it up a little bit. And then I'm going to show you the other side I had already done. This is a winter lady. And I was hoping this would be a shelf sitter, but it's a little bit too heavy with that heart plaque I put on there. So I would say use something lighter if you're wanting it to be a shelf sitter. So I'm just going to go ahead and add a hanger to it, and that way you can hang it on either side. So you can use it for winter. This is a double-sided project. I love to do double-sided, that way I can use it for 2 seasons. And then you can turn it over to the heart side when you're ready. How pretty is that? Be sure and give me a little heart, a comment.